Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we shall look at prime factorization. But before we do that, let's take a quick look on prime numbers. Prime numbers or a prime number is a natural number greater than 1 that has no divisor other than 1 and itself. In other words, a prime number can only be divided by 1 and itself without leaving a remainder. Examples of prime numbers are we have 2, we have 3, we have 5, we have 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, and the list goes on. Now, it is important to note that 2 is the smallest and the only even prime number. Next, let's look at the properties of a prime number. Number 1, a prime number has exactly 2 distinct positive divisors, which are 1 and the number itself. Number 2 is that every number greater than 1 is either a prime number or can be factored into prime numbers. So that is it for prime numbers. Now let's look into prime factorization. What are prime factorization? A prime factorization is the process of breaking down a composite number. For example, a number greater than 1 that is not prime. It is breaking down a composite number into its prime factors. The prime factors are the prime numbers that multiply together to give us the original numbers. If you want to know more about factors, you can click the link at the top right corner. Now, what are the steps involved when solving prime factorization? Number 1, we start with the smallest prime, and that smallest prime is 2. Number 2, we continue division. That is, we keep dividing by the same prime number until it no longer divides evenly. That means that when we are dividing, there should be no remainder. Step number 3, if the smallest prime number can no longer divide evenly, we move to the next prime number, which is 3. Step 4, we repeat until we get to 1. That is, continue the process until you reach 1. The factors used in the division processes are the prime factors. Now, let's look at some examples. Let's start with 18. Let's find the prime factorization of 18. What we do is this. Step 1, we draw a straight line and we cross it. Write the number 18 right here. Then we start with the division. So we start with 2. So 2 divide 18. How many 2 do we have in 18? Which is 9. So 2 into 18 is 9. Now, how many 2 do we have into 9? That will give us a remainder. Remember, when dividing, we must not get a remainder. So we can use 3. So 3 can go into 9 because 2, when 2 goes into 9, it leaves a remainder. For example, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, for example, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So there is a remainder, so we cannot use 2, so we use 3. So if we use 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have no remainder. So we use 3. So 3 into 9 again is 3. So that gives us 3. 3 can go 3 into 3, or 3 divided 3 gives us 1. So the steps are, we continue the process until we reach 1. So therefore, the prime factorization of 18 is or are 2 times 3 times 3. So these are the prime factorization of 18. All right, let's find the prime factorization for 60. Again, we draw our T, cross it. Here's 60. Again, we start with the smallest prime number, 2. 2 into 6 is 3. 2 into 0 is 0. If you want to check, you can say 2 times 30 will give us 60. So that's correct. We can use 2. 2 into 30 is 15. If you are wondering how I got that, is how many times can we use 2 to divide 30? That gives us 15. Or we can say 2 times 15 is 30. So that gives us 15. Now, can 2 divide 15 without a remainder? That is no. So we can try 3. Now remember that 3 times 5 is 15, so we can use 3. So 3 divided 15 is 5. Next, we can use 5 now. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. So we stop right there. So therefore, the prime factorization of 60 are 60 equal to is 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So these are the prime factorization for 60. Let's take one more. What is the prime factorization for 24? Again, we draw a line, crossed up, 24. Again, we start with 2. So 2 divided 2 is 1. 2 divided 4 is 2. So that is 12. We can still use 2. So 2 divided by 12 will give us 6. We can still use 2. 2 divided by 6 will give us 3. Now we can use 3 now because 2 can no longer divide 3. So we use 2. So we use 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So that is the last step. So therefore, the prime factorization for 24 are 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. That gives us 24. So this is, or these are the prime factorization for 24. To check if you're correct, you multiply these prime numbers and you get back 24. For example, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 gives us 24. So those are the prime factors or prime factorization for 24. Now, the reason why we have to learn to do prime factorization is that prime factorization can be applied in fractions. For example, it helps us in reducing fractions to its lowest or simplest form. Number 2, we can also apply prime factorization in finding the greatest common divisor and the least common multiples of numbers. Again, if you know how to do prime factorization, it helps us in analyzing the divisibility properties of numbers. So that is it for today. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.